happy 4th of July and welcome to my channel. First of all, I want to start off by apologizing to Jay at Volunteer Audio. While I was making the video with him, showing me the radio, his last probably 10 minutes, wound up stopping. And I think we knew it somewhat because my phone automatically went to CarPlay from my stand over there to the bike, shut off the video. I've rectified that. I went out and bought an iPhone 8 used, and that's all I'm using for the video. Strictly a video camera. Sounds cheap, but I mean, I find that the quality is a lot better, easier to transport when I'm out hunting, riding, or doing whatever. So anyway, I do apologize to Jay at Volunteer Audio. So, on to bigger and better things. Let's talk about the radio. You just heard it in the beginning, and that was only on 5 or 6 volume level inside my garage, yes. I just got back from riding, listening to Sirius XM, and we'll talk about that in a second. But with Sirius XM going down the road, I never had to go over 12 at 70 miles an hour. And I'm hard of hearing with hearing aids on, and I could hear that stuff loud and clear. So kudos to that one and Soundstream Reserve V2. So let's talk about pros and cons about the V2 after riding 1,500 miles on it so far in this week. All right, yeah, that's a lot. I do ride a lot. This bike has almost 73,000 on it now, and I love to ride, and I like to listen to my music going down the road without interruption. So, con, and it has nothing to do with the radio. 2 of them. First of all, Cardo. Cardo has the lousiest customer service that I've had in a long time, and it connected to the radio perfectly. It comes through the helmets perfectly, except for my wife's. She cannot turn it up and down, the volume. And the problem with me being hard of hearing is I have to have it up a little louder so I can hear, but for her, it'll break her eardrums. That woman's hearing is so sensitive, she could hear a squirrel fart in the woods. I mean, I wish I had half the hearing that that beautiful woman has, but I don't. So, I'm forced to wear hearing aids due to VA issues and all that stuff. Second thing is, XM radio has nothing to do with, once again, the Soundstream Reserve V2. It has to do with the reception in some areas. I go out here in front of my garage, I can hear it. Drive down the road, it was coming on and off 6 times before I reached the other area. And that's just their coverage area. The second part of that is the cost of $25 a month after my initial years up, where I'm only paying $12 or $6 a month after all the initiation fees and all that good stuff. Thanks to Jay once again and Rick for getting me my receipt so I can sign up for it. I get my $60 gift card from them. I also get my discount for the next year. Okay, once that year's up, I will probably cancel it and go back to my Apple CarPlay and use Pandora, because I can always hear it on Pandora too. So either way. But I wanted to test it out, see how it works, and it's an investment. It keeps the price of the radio and everything if I decide to trade this bike off, which it will never happen. I wound up getting another year. So, let's go back to Volunteer Audio. For those who don't know, Volunteer Audio did not make the Soundstream Reserve V2. That actually came from Soundstream. They are just a dealer, but they are more than a dealer, ladies and gentlemen, more. And when I mean more, they go above and beyond helping customers, make sure they're 100% satisfied, make sure all issues are taken care of. If it isn't Jay, texting me back and forth, it was Rick on Facebook who came up with a page, Soundstream Reserve V2 for users. That's me. Maybe you as a future user, I don't know. Can I compare this to Harley radio? Hell yeah, I can. My Harley radio, and this is only a 17, sucked. For radio reception, the screen got all dicked up, it didn't cover it. It didn't look as pretty as the new 2024s where you pay $50,000 or more and you get that new radio system that takes Bluetooth from Cena and that. But once again, Apple CarPlay, you have to buy something different. I think it's called a WIM, and I'm not buying that extra piece of crap. And mine fills up the screen. Why do I also like it? This picture right here, that's my home screen. That's what I like going down the road. I can see how fast I'm going, and I can see what was playing on my radio, I can see other stuff on that home screen. And it took me a while to figure out how to find that. All I have to do is whatever I'm in, hit home, and that screen pops up. this is a learning curve for me, and once again, I go to Facebook and I can learn from them guys and ask questions and get answers. The gauge packages gives me all my gauges in the front, just like I would on the 2024 Harleys, except they're probably not as sophisticated, I don't know, but it's just as great. I was thinking about buying Dakota gauges for my 4 gauges up on the top here, all digital. I don't have to now. V2 saved me a lot of money, yay! And I can see my gauges right there. Or I can just go to the map page. So that is probably one of the other cons I should mention. The internal GPS nav system for this radio looks beautiful, it's great, you can type in stuff, but I have a metal bar up here, I have lights on the side, and like I said before, that interference, EMF, whatever they use, like a bomb or whatever, anything electrical around that antenna is going to mess it up. And that is true, and I don't care what it is. But my Apple CarPlay, Google Maps are more up to date, and they're accurate, and I get me to go where I'm going to go. I've always used them, but unfortunately, it didn't hook to my Harley radio like the V2 does. So, once again, kudos to Jay and all them for helping me out. Jay even went beyond and helped me learn how to reset this when I had that warning light I told you in my last video, and it popped up on my warning page. Well, I've since taken care of that. I just turned it off, so if a warning comes on, I'll see it up on my main page, but I won't see it on my radio and interfere with anything. That little voice telling me, hey, you're over the speed limit, and I took care of that. One of the guys that was there at the ride says, hey, it's in your nav system. So I said, it's in my nav system. So I went to nav system, opened it up, there was speed, I turned that booger off too. And then Jay and him, Rick and all them came back and said the same thing, it's in the nav system. Once again, superior service from Volunteer Audio, Jay and crew. And what I mean by Jay and crew, his wife runs the admin, answers the phones, and does all that stuff for sales and all that. Great, met her. She didn't want to be in the video, I don't mind. And then the 3 kids, the 2 daughters and the son, right there helping Dad out in the Volunteer Audio system, pushing all these radios out, getting everything updated before you get it in the mail. That's the best part. And then I got mine. I ordered mine on the 14th of February, pre-ordered it, and I said, hey, happy Valentine's to me and the wife, because we like that stuff. And when I showed up at Volunteer Audio, Samantha goes, hey, you got that in? You got your radio? I said, yeah, here it goes. And this is at 1:30 in the afternoon, and my appointment's not to 5. She goes, good, we'll get it started and get it ready, so when I bring my trike back in at 5 o'clock, that they can start it all up. And once again, once I picked it up, Jay was right there, showing me everything. I could force-fed me like a water hose in the face, so I could understand the radio. Took his time. If I didn't understand it, he would repeat it, and so on and so forth. I could make a long video of him showing me this radio, trust me. And it's the customer support that drew me in. So ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to buy the Soundstream V2, whether you order it directly online or you order it from one of these other people selling it, that's up to you, prerogative. But if you want the best installation, best recommendations for installation, best support after installation, hell, best support all the way around, go to Volunteer Audio. As you can see, I got a nifty shirt. By the way, I'm not being paid or sponsored to get any benefits from this other than when I bought my radio. Jay was nice enough when I got it installed, and he probably does it for everybody up there. I got a free t-shirt, and I'm a t-shirt fan anyway. So thanks again, Jay and family, I appreciate it. I wish I could cover more. One of the other highlights I like about this radio, right here, boom, that backup camera. That has been a blessing, because I can't really see everything behind my trike like Jay was illustrating in the corner, that when you even back up a Road Glide or an Ultra Classic, you can't see behind you all the way, and you might hit that curve without pipes, and you really don't want to do that. You just got to be smart enough to stop before that. But with the trike, you really can't see. And when I back up to my trailer here, I can see the hitch and put the ball right where I need to put it and hook up and drive on. So big kudos to the camera that he installed. I appreciate that. I don't know if it was his first one he installed with the V2, but I will tell you one thing, I love it no matter what. There's 100% things I love in this thing. I have options with gauges, map views. I mean, I can rearrange my gauges. I love that. Right now they're set up where I like to know the speed in the middle. The other stuff, that's just up to other people. There's just not a bad thing to say about this radio. I wish I had the words to express my gratitude to the Volunteer Audio for hooking me up and doing that. Like I said, Jay picked me. He took me back to the hotel at Oak Ridge, because there's no hotels in Oliver Springs. Trust me, Oliver Springs is small. And he picked me up the next day after he took care of his daughter's doctor's appointment, which that's another thing I love. family values, family first, and everything in that family sticks together, and they're going. And it really surprised me to see where he was doing the radio installation. I was looking for a big shop, and come to find out, it's his garage out back, and it's set up so beautifully. You see it in the videos all the time. That's another thing. Volunteer Audio puts out how-to videos, update videos, any kind of video, regardless of the radio, not just the V2s, the other ones they sell. But I will tell you, the Soundstream Reserve V2 is probably the ultimate radio for any of us that ride, that like maybe listen to music, intercom system, helmet to helmet talking. I don't know about the bike to bike. I don't do that. I don't do that with the Cardo system or a Cena or anything like that. I much prefer just to talking to my wife, and we don't talk a lot going down the road, but what we do is like, hey, I'm getting hungry, or hey, look at that over there, that building is interesting, as she takes pictures going down the road and videos, as we say. So ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for a great product, and I do mean this with sincerity, Soundstream Reserve V2 is the way to go with the Harley Davidson band. And if you really want it to be the best there is, go see Jay at Volunteer Audio, and you will not be disappointed. Either you set up an appointment with him, or you watch his videos and set up. You will not be disappointed with that gentleman and his family and what they go through to make a living, of course. But when you go above and beyond the making a living and making that dollar and making sure that I'm happy, you're happy, or anybody else is happy, and of course, you can't please everyone. There's just no way in God's creation we could please everyone. So with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for watching my video. This is just a follow-up video on the radio. We're not walking through the radio. We did that on the last video. If you want a better demonstration, I'll post a link down below in my description box, and that Jay will go through that whole radio with you in the process, because it's more than I can explain to you in my videos, and I don't like to make them dragged up. But once again, Jay, I do apologize that you weren't in the last video that long that I wanted to do. Maybe next time when I get the money and I get my Road Glide and have that radio installed, I'll be back and we'll make a better video. And how I did that, once again, I bought an extra iPhone 8 with no cell service, just using it as a video camera right now. So ladies and gentlemen, have a happy 4th of July. Please stay safe, hydrate yourself, not necessarily with alcohol, but be safe. And be cautious around the fireworks with the children, and may you all have a blessed day, and we'll see you in my next video. Thank you. Oh, I meant to mention this one other time. I'm sorry, before I end this. That sound stream comes in fast. The screen's already on. My other one takes forever to boot up. And the other thing I like about it, here's the kicker. When you shut the bike off, the radio stays on for a couple minutes. When I start this bike, it does not, what do you want to call it? It does not turn the radio off at all. It just stays on, and I think that to me is remarkable. So this is just one thing I do love about the whole thing. Just the idea that the radio stays on. My door doesn't want to go right now, so whatever that case may be. It did earlier. I'm in the garage, that's probably why. So anyway, when I shut it off, the radio stays on for about 30 seconds afterwards. When I turned it on, radio comes on right away. Bike runs through the gauges, whatever. I start the bike, the radio doesn't shut off and follow the bike. I love that too. So keep that in mind. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, and have a happy 4th of July.